as you well know, it has been a redemption story for the ages. So let's now take a peek back at the season that was and all the moments leading up to it. Your 2019 Cavaliers and the head coach, Tony Bennett.
Thank you. This is more than we expected. I got to tell you something, and our guys will appreciate this. I want to ask our players this. Do you remember when we played Clemson this year? We played at Clemson, and we're riding up on the bus. And it was the time where they were going to celebrate the Football National Championship. And we're riding up on the bus and the stadium's full and we're getting ready for our noon game. And I remember thinking, man, what would that be like if we ever won a national championship? And you know what? That day is now! Unbelievable. So listen, I gotta tell you something. We started the year with our theme was United Pursuit, because we knew it would be that, and I can't help but think this is a united celebration of that pursuit, because what it's done. So I'm blown away by it, and that song that you heard called Stronger Than I've Ever Been, it's a song that I heard. I was watching the US Open for tennis in September, and that song came on before the tennis match started, and I said, if that doesn't indicate what this is about, stronger than I've ever been. And these guys, we talked about being kind of strengthened by the blow that cut us down from last year, and what these guys did and how they stepped up and did it is amazing. But again, this is our united celebration. It brought everybody together. I'm in awe of this. This is more than I ever expected, so thank you for being here. This is a great day to celebrate.
It's like old times, our coaches show, kind of same drill, right? Just about maybe 30,000 more people, I don't know. But Tone, I'm gonna start where I began with you last time we visited in a setting like this, coming back to Charlottesville. When you began this journey 10 years ago, and now you look out at this scene right here, this spectacle, could you ever have envisioned a visual quite like this?
You hope for something like this, but this is beyond what I expected. When we came, we just tried to sell the vision to all these guys that if we do it right, maybe the thing, I got a poster of Rocky, I said it after the game, we just wanted a chance at a title fight, and that was the hope. And for what they did, and to be here with you guys and how you've embraced us is special. So I gotta be honest, I never expected anything like this, if I'm truthful.
Has it all set in yet? And if so, how long did it take?
It really hasn't. I told the guys I watched the second half of the championship game last night, and that just watching that and kind of seeing it from that perspective, that was pretty special. And then when we got back after it, and then now this is making it real. That's for sure.
So what have the last 5 days been like for you?
Very busy, answering a lot of text messages.
Give me a guess. How many texts did you have? Just humor me here.
Over 500 probably, so.
Everybody that has your phone number, probably. Okay, well, tell us one of the things that was, okay, and let me ask you this. Give me a favorite moment of yours from the last 2 weeks.
Well, there's so many, but I have to say when the final horn went off, after these guys had won the national championship, just sitting on that stool and just kind of bowing down and just giving thanks and, you know, feeling like I didn't deserve this, but observing these guys, they're part of one of the greatest stories that I've ever seen written, and it'll be told over and over again. And it's what they did, and it united a community, and it certainly united our team beyond basketball. And I think it's one of the greatest stories ever told, and how they answered. When we played Gardner-Webb, I mentioned this before we came, at halftime when we were down, and to see how they responded in the face of that kind of adversity and did it. Their toughness, their resiliency, and then just to go through this tournament is unlike anything I've seen. So, as I said, the story that has been told and will be told for many years to come, it'll be a memory forever.
Tony, that day, that Monday, that national championship day was unlike anything I've experienced. Even from the moment you wake up, you can't quite predict what it's going to feel like. And I'll never forget sitting with you to tape our interview. I was nervous. You put my nerves at ease a little bit just talking to you, which is kind of bizarre in and of its own right. But tell us a little bit about, there's a fun story about how you got your team together to try to calm everyone's nerves a little bit. And I understand Frankie Bedoki made another cameo a little bit with his musical talents.
Yeah, we did some great stuff. We would do our walkthroughs in the hotel ballroom, and just that song, Stronger Than I've Ever Been, we played that before the Final Four, and then we played another song called Back Home by Andy Grammer, and then we had Frankie play the piano. Frankie's one of the most gifted pianist you'll ever see. He can play anything, so he would play some music for us, and the guys loved it. So that was just great stuff, and to share it all that together.
Yeah. Tony, you are the best. Thanks again for taking us for the ride of a lifetime. All right, folks, we all know why we're here today. So let's now look back at the moments that made up March Madness and had all of our collective hearts thumping outside of our chests.
might have been really close to our end goal.
Where we came from, the city can't change us. We beat to the same drum, the same drum.
Virginia goes old school, hard-nosed defense en route to the Elite Eight. Virginia's got a shot at it. They got to go quickly. 3 seconds left. UVA Clark beats ahead. The road ends here, Charlottesville! All right, let's talk to some of the guys that made this such a special run. And we're going to start with a guy who had never been here before, first year at the University of Virginia, a first-year player. Be nice, Kyle. UVA Clark. UVA, freshmen aren't supposed to look that comfortable that quickly on that stage. How are you able to pull it off?
Just the help of my teammates. They put all the confidence in me and just allow me to go out and play freely.
Now, after you played your part in what is being called the play, we just saw it, when you helped send the Elite Eight game to overtime, you said your heart was beating like crazy inside, but you didn't want to celebrate too early, as you had your calm demeanor on the outside this whole run. What was really going on the inside for you these last 3 weeks?
Just super excited and just extremely thankful to make it this far.
And lastly, I got to ask you, where does, stand up with me here. Come on, let's go. Where does that come from, Kihei? Where does that calm demeanor, that cool collective presence come from? Because you didn't learn it here, you had it right from the get-go.
Just being a point guard, you got to be able to stay calm in tough moments, and just didn't want to celebrate too early when we were in overtime.
Imagine this guy when he's a senior. Good grief. All right, I got to make my way down the line here because these two will forever be linked. Mamadi Diakite. So here we sit. You and Kihei will forever be linked by that play in Louisville, Kentucky. 25 years from now, is he on your speed dial? Are you guys just going to be an annual type deal, you and him?
For sure.
And what will you say to Kihei every time you call him? How are you going to lead into that conversation?
You remember that pass you gave me, and we're able to go to Final Four for the first time in a long time.
Kihei's answer will be yes. But I got to ask this too. You're kind of the custodian of this hardware here. How did you get to be the guy who carries this thing around everywhere?
Could you repeat that, please?
He does speak 5 languages, so I'll give him a break. I said, you get to carry this trophy everywhere you go, it seems like. How did you get to be the guy that carries this thing everywhere?
Jack Saw right here. He makes me do it every time. Since he's a senior, I gotta do it.
Last year of that, Mamadi. Last year of that. So I want to also ask you, you look like a completely different player in this tournament run. You were consistent all the way through. What changed for you that you were able to be so dominant and so consistent throughout this run through March for you come tournament time?
First, I love my coaches, I love my teammates, and I wanted to bring out my best to help and to accomplish something that we've never done before. So, I just try to do what we call the dirty job. And we're here now, so I guess it paid off.
It did. All right, Mamadi. I'm gonna let you go on this. Now, I said it just a moment ago. You speak 5 languages fluently. I want you to tell all of Wahoo Nation that you and the Cavaliers are the national champions, and I hope I'm pronouncing this right, in Malinke.
Yes, sir. It won't be long, but it's Andeleli équipe follow the Sanyin Koro.
All right. All right, who's next on my hit list? I'm gonna sit with you since you saved this chair just for me, Braxton. But Braxton Key. Braxton, you were one of the many heroes from that championship game. As you played such an integral role for this team in that game, a career-high 10 rebounds, one of the biggest plays of the game, on a game-saving block in the closing moments of regulation against Texas Tech. Take us through that final possession that you kept your team in it going into overtime. In regulation, you blocked what would have been the game-winning shot for Texas Tech.
First of all, I wanted to be on the ball. Me and Jerry were going to switch spots, and he was just like, no, bro, you got it. And I was like, all right, you've been doing a great job on Culver all game, but I got you. And then, I was just trying not to foul, and I just made a big play for the team.
Was that terrifying in some ways? Because you make a mistake one way too much or one way too little, either you foul or you leave him open, and he hits that shot. There is no less forgiving scenario to be facing, except maybe Kyle Guy might argue that point, but go ahead.
Exactly. I didn't want to foul, but I didn't want to give him too much space. And after what happened last game against Auburn, for Kyle to get fouled, some people say it was a foul, some don't, but we'll live with it. But I just didn't want to get close to a foul in that situation.
It was a foul. Yours was not. But Braxton, you really did personify this idea of patience. I know the minutes weren't quite where you would like them to have been throughout a number of those games in the tournament, about 10 minutes a game, but you played 29 huge minutes in the championship game. What were you telling yourself in those games leading up?
I mean, Coach Bennett, Coach Wilford, they were telling me just stay patient. Coach O, they were just telling me stay patient. Kyle. Everyone was telling me to stay patient. I mean, shout out to everybody, but Mamadi, I mean, everyone was saying stay patient. I mean, it's obviously harder going through it and just trying to deal with it, but I mean, I knew we had a big chance to win it all, so I just had to wait my turn.
You weren't even sure if you'd be playing this season when you transferred from Auburn, or I should say from Alabama. Now that you play with Virginia Tech, we'll never make that mistake again. But when you transfer from Alabama, and here we sit, 1 year later, could you have ever, in your wildest dreams, imagined you'd be sitting in this seat having this conversation with this as the backdrop?
No, I mean, I talked to my stepdad about it, and he was like, I mean, last year you were watching basketball early in March, so just to be in a situation with these great fans, and we're so glad we can come here and celebrate with you guys, it means a lot.
All right, next on my hit list. That's right, the senior, Jack Salt. Jack Salt, the lone senior for this team. Jack, you've been a part of 118 wins in your class. That is the most in the history of any class of Virginia basketball. Big Jack, can you believe you've been a part of this many wins?
No, this has been amazing. I've had the opportunity to be a part of a great team. I've met some of my best friends for life being at this school, and thanks to Coach Bennett for letting me come here. I've had an amazing experience.
All right, I think I know the answer, the first answer you're going to give me to this question. In all that time, I would guess, maybe I'm being presumptuous about this, but your favorite memory from that time might have been cutting down that net. Aside from that, do you have a favorite moment from all your time here?
I mean, I'd say just hanging out with my teammates every day. Just the bonds I've made with some of these guys has been awesome, and that's the thing I'm going to carry on after basketball.
Yeah, you are the ultimate team guy. You played with a lot of different guys, too. And we've talked a little bit about the guys that helped lay the foundation for this program, and a lot of those guys were there on Monday night and on Saturday as well at the Final Four. How much of a chance have you had to be in contact with some of those former players, your former teammates, that helped lay the bricks for this moment here we're sitting on right now?
Yeah, for sure. I've said that many times. Those guys laid the foundation for us to be where we are right now. The culture change started with them, so to pay tribute to them. I've tried to reach back to as many of those guys and just say thank you.
All right, so this is your last chance to talk, our last chance to catch up with you. What's next for Jack Salt?
Keep playing professionally. Just sign an agent. And we'll see where life takes me.
All right, best of luck, my friend. Thanks for all the memories. And, Coach wants you to do a haka. I don't think we're going to get that. We're lucky we got the interview, but you all going to do the haka? You lead the charge, Mamadi. All right, moving down my list here. All right, it's the moment he's been dreading. DeAndre Hunter. All tournament long, you kept plugging along. You just kept knocking. Everybody said, when is Dre going to break out and have his dominant takeover game? Nothing like saving the best for last, my man.
Yeah, I wasn't playing well for most of the tournament, but it was the last game of the year. I know I had to be aggressive, and no matter how many shots I missed, I was going to go out being aggressive.
What did it feel like? What goes through your mind when you hit arguably the biggest shot in the history of the program on a three-pointer to send the national championship to overtime? with everything on the line. What went through your mind leading into that moment, and once you saw the ball go through the cylinder?
I was honestly hoping that Tyler would pass the ball. He was shooting a lot. So he passed it to me in a corner. It was a good pass. I was in rhythm, and it was a shot I shoot all the time in practice, so I just had to knock it down.
How long did it take you to process that whole moment?
That shot?
How long did it take you to process that whole moment?
Till the next day, really. I mean, I just kept seeing it, and it was just like, it was crazy that it was me and that I did that.
All right, Dre. Congratulations, my man. All right. Got to keep this thing moving. Mr. Guy, it's your turn, buddy. It may have been the biggest shot in the history of the program, but nobody's ever made bigger free throws than you have to send that game to the national championship against Auburn. 3 shots to define a legacy in many ways. I think those final 14 seconds actually took about 8 minutes in real time. Tell folks what that 8-minute stretch was like for you.
Yeah, we just, tried to buckle down and be as disciplined as possible. We were laser focused all of March, and, we did a great job of executing and just, never giving up, even though we were down in some instances, and we did our job.
When you're sitting on that stage after it's all through with your teammates, you're named the Final Four's most outstanding player. What goes through your mind?
Well, at first I was a little bit upset because I felt like Tyler Dre should have got it, but I wish. Yeah, I know. I'm the romantic of the group, so
that's why you're getting married.
Right. So, but again, I'm just so thankful for this coaching staff and this team. They have so much confidence in me. So, I was honored to be, the mop.
The mob, the man bun, the mob, whatever you want to call it. You're the MVP, the most outstanding player. Congratulations, Kyle.
Thank you, guys.
All right, last on my list here, Ty Jerome. Ty, I'm not sure in all my time doing this I've ever seen anybody play with as much competitive fire as you through the years. And I'll start with a question I just asked, kind of alluded to earlier with Kihei, but where does that fire come from for you?
Just wanting to win so bad, with my teammates, with these coaches, for these fans. Just wanting to win and just all the work we put in.
There have been a lot of doubters, a lot of critics around not only just this team, its style, but you, even in particular, people thought you wouldn't be able to do this. I got to ask you, how did it feel to be able to raise that championship trophy in front of all those doubters?
Honestly, it's not even about them. It was about us, about our coaches, and just, it was a dream come true.
And I got to ask you my last question here. If there's one thing you would like Virginia fans to remember about you in your time here at UVA, what would it be?
Just a good teammate, a good person off the court, and a national champion.
There it is. You will be remembered by all those things, to be sure. All right, we thought we'd round out this event the same way that it has been done for the past 4 decades or so. It's one shining moment, and we've alluded to his performance for the team, and now we'd like for him to perform for all you. One shining moment with a little Virginia flavor. Take it away, Frankie Bedoki. A true artist needs all the tools. Let's get him a pedal. One last time to Who Vision for a look at the one shining moment that the players retreated to after seeing their dreams come true. we hope you'll stick around and be a part of something we're going to do right now. We're all one big family here at UVA, and we're going to take a big family photo with everybody behind us, including you guys. Let's all get up here, and let's line up for a photograph that we're going to get with everybody here, with all our family behind us. We aren't going to forget this one. This is the price you pay for